It's been going really good. We've been learning a lot about the industry and moving forward.
Yeah.
Along the way, we met this young man, Prophet Josiah,
That's me.
in the building. And Prophet,
What an A, right? Prophet.
Prophet.
Yeah,
Prophet.
PRA.
Yeah.
And Prophet just dropped some knowledge on us, man, and really just like shared some of the experience he's had in the music industry and some of the successes he's had and some of the things he thinks that Christian hip hop artists need to get good at in order to get to the next level. So we wanted to bring him in here and kind of share some of his he shares it already, like on YouTube. You can find it. It's amazing. But to share some of his knowledge, talk about some of the things you've done so far in the past, and what you think Christian hip hop artists need to do after they finish recording that song.
Okay, you like right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, some of the things I've done in the past. I have my own music publishing company.
Yeah.
The company's called NASDAQ Publishing, and we've had success as far as getting placements on TV, ABC, NBC, Fox. I mean, I'm saying a whole bunch of different things. And what was the other question?
So from that success, what do you think artists, once they finish it and record, what are you supposed to do with that song to get it ready for some of that same success? I'm sure a lot of artists, when they record, they want to get that placement in movies, they want to get in on TV, they want to make sure. What do they have to do to get to that place?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of things you got to do. I think even while you're in the studio recording, you want to make sure that you have a split sheet. I don't know how many people know about that, but it basically just says, you know, Sean did 50%, Ryan did 25%, and you did 25%. And so that way, before you leave the studio, you have a document that's signed that says who owns what.
Yeah.
So that way, later on, the song blows up, there's not confusion about, well, wait, you said, I did this part. And it's like, well, no, you didn't sign a split sheet. So these are the only people that's getting paid from this song. Wow. After that, then you want to submit the copyright registration. You can do that online. You can mail it in. And then once you have all the ownership piece done, the next step probably be to register the song with ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, one of those places, so you can get paid royalties for your songs being played on TV, internet, you know what I'm saying, all these different places so that you can get paid. And as far as getting placements in TV and on film and stuff like that, I mean, there's a lot of steps to that. It's really just about doing your research and trying to find the people, giving them music the way that they like to receive it, and then being persistent but not pushy and not being stalkerish, but still making sure that they heard your music and things like that.
And how hard is that? Is that hard?
Not really.
So you're saying that a lot of the Christian hip hop artists that we hear on the show, that we see out, they could be in movies and TV if they do the right steps.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hard is a funny kind of word. I mean, it takes a lot of hard work, takes a lot of persistence, takes a lot of research. Yeah. And so if you're afraid of doing hard work, then it's hard. But if you're already used to doing hard work, then it's not hard.
But there's people that you can go to help with that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you've done it. We're starting to get into doing it as well. So I just wanted to make sure, like, here's some of the problems that I've seen. Mm-hmm. You go on SoundClick or you go on SoundCloud and you find beats from these producers, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if they sampled this beat. Do I need to check with every producer? Hey, what did you sample? Yep. Where'd you get it from? Is that important to get that?
It is that important, unless you just want to be sued later on after you get rich.
Yeah. So okay. Real. So because I think that's a lot of the apprehension from artists is that I don't know how much of this is original. I don't want to get in trouble. How do you get it? Like you've seen that. Like how many beats do you think that are out on Spotify right now have samples in it that weren't cleared?
A lot. A lot in CHH. CHH sometimes in the past didn't clear a lot of samples, so you don't see those works up on these social media sites,
right?
Or social streaming sites. But a lot is streaming. And then another thing too, you got to think about it. If you bought the beat and I bought the beat and your song pops off, but I bought it. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot. It's a lot of things. But I did want to ask you this question, man. About like I remember seeing people asking this question to this one guy, and this guy was talking. He was an entertainment. He said they're looking for music for movies,
right?
Because they keep using the same. Like I heard the Kanye Power song in like 15, 20 trailers in 1 year. Like, and this wasn't even. It was like after the fact that he did the album. So just that the question is like, what's the way to get there? Because I think we have some great music, and I think that can help us a lot. Because that's the Macklemore formula. Kind of his stuff was in stuff, and it started helping him get out there.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of different ways to get there. One of the ways to get there is right now there's a site called IMDb, which I'm sure you guys have heard of. Well, they have a pro version of that site where you can get to the back and you can find out who the people are that are in charge of receiving music. Then you can look up that person online, either on LinkedIn, or you can go to another site called I think it's called musicregistry.com, and they sell lists of people's contact information. You can send them emails, you can call them on the phone, you can say, hey, I own this catalog, I own a certain amount of music, and I know what you're looking for. I watched your show, I know what type of music you need. I think I have something that you want. And then you just got to make sure that you understand the lingo of the music industry, so that if they ask you questions like, well, do you own the masters, you know what that means, because they don't want to educate you, they expect you to know that already. So if you don't know that, I mean, you can do some research, find out what that is, or you can hire somebody that's on your team, or just have somebody on your team that is designated to that, and that's all that they do, so that way you can just focus on making music.
Yeah,
that's good, man. So what's another way besides, like, what about commercials, or what about any of those things that, like, maybe TV commercials or radio commercials or anything like that? How could somebody go out on those steps as well? Like, is it a difference, or?
It is a difference, but it still all boils down to research. So, like for instance, let's say, you're watching TV, you see you see like a Doritos commercial. You say, okay, I want my music in a Doritos commercial. Well, you don't contact Doritos, because Doritos doesn't make their own commercials. They use what's called, I forgot the name of the companies, but like there's companies that's designated.
Like ad agencies?
Yes, ad agencies, okay. Exactly. Ad agencies go to these different companies and they make the commercials for them. And so you want to reach out to the people that's at the ad agency and then submit music to them. But you got to find out who the person is, because they like swap positions all the time. Maybe he left this company, went to that company.
Gotcha.
So you want to make sure you got the most up-to-date information. Reach out to that person. Make sure you're talking to them in a way where they feel like you understand what you're talking about. And then, just approach them. It's kind of like trying to talk to, well, if you're a guy, it's kind of like talking to a girl that looks really attractive, but she don't know you.
Gotcha.
And so you got to be careful with how you approach her.
Yeah.
Not too pushy, but then you don't want to be too standoffish, or you won't get anywhere. So you just, you kind of put yourself in the same places that she at, and you just, run your
scenario. Scenario. So I have a question for you. How much notoriety do I have to have prior to doing any of this if I'm an artist?
Not really much at all. I mean, as long as you have the music that fits what they're looking for. A lot of times they want unknown people because they don't have to pay them as much. So like he said with Kanye, if you get a Kanye song, you're going to have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
If I get you, I could pay you $2,000 or $3,000 because you're nobody.
Thank you.
That sucks. Like, 'cause you're nobody, so you're getting paid $2,000. So like, okay,
but if you got a song that goes up on the charts like that, then it makes you more valuable.
Yeah.
And $2,000 to $3,000 to us is a lot. Is a lot to us, but maybe not to Kanye.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's payday right there.
Kanye.
Yeah. So what's some advice you would give to somebody who says, okay, yeah, I want to see my stuff in movies and I want to see my stuff in there, but I don't want to get burned. Like, I don't want to get burned. So like, if they take a song, or like I give them a song and they use it for another movie that go against my values or anything like that, because we is CHH, so you don't want a movie like you got a song and it's something totally different than what
sex scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really not possible for you to get burned because they clear all that right at the beginning.
Gotcha.
So they ask you, we want to use this song. In the contract, we either say we get to use it for whatever we want to use it for, or you can stipulate like, hey, you know what? I don't care about you using my song, but I don't want to use in the sex scene. I don't want to use in the scene, showing violence or whatever like that. And then it's up to them to decide, well, that's what this movie's about. So, or they could be like, okay, that's fine. We'll just add it in there.
Yeah.
But the big thing I think that you could do to save yourself is just have somebody on your team that really knows what's going on. Or if you're going to do it yourself, do a lot of research. I mean, there's a lot of rumors that go around that people just take as fact.
Like, what's some of the rumors?
Yep, poor man's copyright. Like for instance, people just assume that you shouldn't give your copyright to anybody, no matter what the situation is, and that's not really the case. It's really, you can give your copyright to a music publisher as long as the music publisher stipulates in the contract what he can and cannot do with it.
Wow,
That's good.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, and I really think it's good for people to know that it's possible at where you are right now
Absolutely.
to get your stuff placed. Because I think, I know for me, for years, I never thought we had a chance. And we did talk to a publisher in the past and that had contacts that wanted our music and all that kind of stuff. But some things feel too big for artists at certain points in their career, and it's not that big. It's meticulous though, right? So we've been going through some of the stuff. Like you go to these forums, you go to copyright.gov, it's meticulous. They're asking a lot of stuff you may not know nothing about.
Right.
That's where the knowledge comes in, where you really got to become a student, you know.
Right.
And I think people get shocked that when you start making music, most of music is the business side.
Yeah.
Most of it. Like
Music
if you don't
business.
understand the business part of
It's
it,
true.
like you can make music all day and it could get popular, but you're not gonna be good at the business unless you learn the business side. So
Right.
I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate because I'm trying to think of some of the artists that did get placements, like Cooper, Swift.
Oh yeah.
There's people who in our
Andy.
industry,
Andy.
Yeah.
there's people in our industry who have gotten placements. And I want to see more of that.
Yeah,
Again, remember the
absolutely.
premise of this thing. We're trying to get high quality, godly content to the mainstream. This is part of the process. We got to figure out how to get our stuff cleared. We got to figure out how to get.
She did too. She's been on some shows too.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Monologue.
Of course, Lecrae.
Yeah.
So we got to get good at this part because I think we're missing a whole section that we can be hitting.
And
We
a
could
whole
get-
lot of money.
Yeah, that too. If we could get our music in these places, we're doing what we say we're supposed to be doing. We're getting our music in front of people who aren't Christians sitting in church, and we're impacting the culture directly. That would be huge.
Yeah.
So let's get this right. So we're gonna get it right here at Trackstarz and Nectar. If you want to learn more, Prophet is some awesome stuff available already, but he may be, if he has time, may be able to help you, but that's on him. But we're gonna get that right because I don't want to throw like a million people his way, and he's like, dude, Sean, why'd you do that?
Well, I got a bunch of stuff online where people can learn too.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you can go to YouTube. It's just youtube.com /NAZSECT. That's NAZ as in zebra, SECT. And a whole bunch of videos about how to copyright your music, learn about publishing, all that kind of stuff. I also created like an audio book that you can go to learn about music publishing and learn about all these questions that people have, mastering, licensing, all of that. And you can get that at howtopitchmusic.com.
How much money do you think is missing in CHH if they would have gotten this right already?
Thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars.
Lots and lots of money.
So yeah, it's and it's important, man, because like one of our biggest problems. There's a lot of problems in Christian hip hop. One is of course character. Another one,
Of course.
another one is
Big
that we just
character.
don't have the resources.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of people with great character, great rhymes that just don't have the resources, and we're robbing ourselves by not understanding this whole business. Just the stuff I've learned this past year from the distribution company, like it could change everything if we get this stuff right. So, man, I appreciate you coming down, man.
No problem.
And you got your own music as well. Tell them how to find you.
Oh, yeah, Prophet Josiah. That's found at prophetjosiah.com. That's PRAFIT, Josiah, just like it's spelled in the Bible.com. And I'm on all social media, Prophet Josiah.
That's awesome, man. All right, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah.